Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
We are all going through challenging things in our life at different times in our life. And it's this funny thing, right, sister, how we often feel like we're going through this tough thing and we feel like we're all alone. And what I'm going to have you hear right now is that statement of I'm all alone, although it might feel that way to you, is false and not true. So I'm telling you right now, everybody's going through shit at some time in their life. They really are. And so my purpose with this episode today, which is going to be a short and sweet one, is simply this. And I just feel really called to say this to you right now. As just so you know that, most of the podcasts that I record them for you, but just know there's so much that it's also for me. And it is a reminder, and I'm so grateful and blessed to have the platform of this podcast that I get to share in the experience of what I learn about myself, knowing that we have all these similar experiences and we think that we're all alone. And so, I'm willing to put myself out there in that respect and just know that this is happening for a reason. The shit I'm going through is happening for a reason. The shit you're going through is happening for a reason and has a purpose and meaning that we just cannot see yet. And there are times that you are in it that you will feel like letting go. You will feel like giving up. You will feel like, fuck this, I'm doomed. And I want you to hear this today, then, sister, is just continue holding on. If you know there is something that you truly want within your heart, if there is something that you feel called to do or to say or to become, if you just keep getting pulled back to something, even though it might seem like the odds are against you, even though others around you might not be supporting your decision, even though people might think you are fucking crazy to continue to hold on, continue holding on. Continue holding on. What I've known to be true for myself and the experience that I've been going through the last several months and I've gone through most of my life is it is, as I had someone very close to me say recently, it is often darkest before the dawn. Now, we can hear that and go like, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool, Karen. Yeah, it's dark for the dawn. No, but like really, it is always darkest before the dawn. And it is those times that we feel like giving up that things are just about to shift. I remember watching the movie The Secret years and years ago. And just a sidebar kind of story about that. I saw the movie The Secret at a chiropractic seminar I was at. It was like 3 or 4 day boot camp. And like at that point, this is before it hit Oprah. So it was this real kind of underground thing. And there was no book, by the way. The book came out after the movie. I know it's normally the opposite of how that works, but book came out after the movie. And we're watching this and you could either like buy the DVD at the time, or you could like download it and watch it like once. Like it was before Netflix. It was before, was iTunes around? Oh gosh, because this would have been probably like 2006, I want to say. Yeah, that was a while ago. Anyways, I remember this visualization. And if you know, The Secret talks a lot about the law of attraction. I think some of that stuff is good. I think some people take it to a degree of, well, I'll just visualize and then nothing else needs to be put into place. It's like, no, needs to be some action, some steps behind that too. But regardless, I remember seeing this, like the person, I can't remember which one of the teachers, was one of the men, I remember that, but talking about how this same concept, right? Like just continue holding on and keep visualizing, keep seeing, keep taking action on the thing that you actually want or things that you want in your life. And he had this visualization, as he said, what most people will do, and I'm going to like completely paraphrase because this is a long time ago I would have seen this movie. So it kind of goes something like this, then, sister. We're working. And so I want you to imagine, and this was the visual that was happening in the movie, like a grass seed. Okay, that little seed that's deep into the soil. So just close your eyes, just kind of see this for a moment. Don't if you're driving, by the way, or walking or running. Don't do that. But otherwise, or just, if you're able to, eyes open, but close your eyes if you can, and see like a seed that's in the ground, right? And then it starts to, is it called germinate? Whatever, something starts to come out of it, whatever that thing is, right? And it's still beneath the soil. It's still beneath the soil, right? And just as it's about to push out of the soil and into the sunshine, just before that moment, that we go, oh, this isn't working. Why would I want to have this saying? I'm not worthy of this. I'm not enough. I'm not ready. In the movie, and it was really profound to me because that visual spoke to me. My heart heard that. My heart felt it. Was like, just as it's about to come to fruition, just as it's about to poke out of the soil, we go, this isn't working anymore. I'm giving up. And I want you to, again, see the visual of this little like seed moving up into deep in the soil. It's about to poke out and we go, it's not working. And it retracts all the way back down again. Continue holding on. There is so much stuff that's happening for you right now that you can't even imagine, that you don't know. There's so many things that are beginning to line up for you that you cannot see the results of it yet. So, although yes, you can take a look and say, well, what has been the results of my efforts, my attempts, of all my energy, my time, my resources, my money I've invested into this thing that I want? And you can use that as a metric, and that would be very logical, right? Nothing wrong with that. But I need you to know there's a lot of, when you are continuing to hold on to a hope and a dream and a vision of what you see, a miracle that is waiting to manifest, to be delivered to you, that will not make sense to most people. I think back to when my husband and I were trying to conceive, and, it was 7.5 years. It was very, very painful. We didn't know why I wasn't happy. We went through all the different tests, and there were some kind of physical reasons why, but even still, like all the things we tried should have bypassed those issues, and still we weren't, and got on the adoption list. And then I still remember, like 8 years ago and a bit, the day that our son Tyson was born, because our birth mom, Tyson's birth mom, had chosen us. End of September. He was born on November the 3rd. And she wanted us there, not in the room, but like outside the room and in the hospital. She wanted us there during the birth. And so I remember like waiting outside. We were first waiting in this little family room, and then her dad came down and said, hey, it's going to be soon. And so we stood outside of the room, and there was like the door was open, like maybe a foot. And it's like I could kind of see in, but the first thing I heard was to hear that little baby boy cry, and I literally just dropped to my knees. Like heaving sobs. And I can still remember all those feelings of like, how many times that I had like cried myself to sleep. How many times that we were going away on a plane somewhere and seeing people with their children, and even though kind of seeing them really busy and stuff and not understanding the parenting piece and the insanity of traveling with your children, but wanting so desperately to be a mom. And seeing often families together, and just that would make me cry. I would lose it. And wondering why this isn't happening for me. That it was that moment that Tyson was born that I went, oh, I get it. I get it. This is why. I was supposed to be Tyson's mommy. My husband's supposed to be Tyson's daddy. And same thing with our youngest boy, Kai. Like, holding on. Continue holding on. I did not know that was lining up for me in the universe. I had no fucking clue. But I continued to hold the vision of becoming a mom, of creating our family, because it was just something I felt in my heart. I wanted to be a mom since I was like a kid. Started babysitting when I was 8. It was the late 70s. It was kind of considered okay, I guess, at that time, but like, yeah. So my intention, as I said again, the start of this episode, is like, I really hope that there's something in this that serves you, and that you're hearing this at a time of when you need to actually hear this message. It's easy to quit, and sometimes we need to quit. Like, quitting smoking is not a bad thing. Quitting drinking too much, or quitting, there's reasons to quit. But I have a feeling that whatever you're going through right now, of course you might say there's logical reasons to quit. Karen, I'm tired. I've been trying so hard and it's like not happening. We don't know that though, really. We don't know that things aren't coming together. It's been this crazy ride in my life. I turned 50 in a couple of months where it's like, I can look back on events and sometimes things came together. It felt like in a snap, right? And it wasn't because I suddenly, poof, the miracle appeared, poof, the thing I wanted manifested, poof, all my hard work paid off. I mean, it was maybe pieces of all those things, but what I didn't realize is there was so much stuff that was happening behind the scenes. And we can easily look back, right, and say, oh, well, that happened. So like I didn't get pregnant and I couldn't conceive so that, I could become Tyson and Kai's mommy. That allowed me to become a mom for the first time at 41 and then 44. And that spurred this whole thing of, wow, I'm a mom now with a lot more life experience than a lot of moms becoming moms for the first time. And I was beginning to see things and how challenging it was. And nobody's talking about it. And that spurred the first podcast. Actually, before that, I started blogging about it on our chiropractic office website at the time. And then it spurred the podcast. And then it became this one. And then it became, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, just, there is so much stuff that's going on that we cannot see. So please, please hear this message in your heart. Continue holding on. Continue holding on. So your more tip for today is this, and sister, I want you to open up your journal. At the top of it, write, I need to continue holding on because, or this is actually even better, scratch that. I choose. Need and choose is very different energy, right? I choose to continue holding on because, and begin to write. Yeah, this one feels good today. I hope it felt good today for you too. So, sister, a couple things finishing up. Number one, I have some new journals coming in. Yes, I do. I mailed out 560-ish or so over about a 1.5 year period and gave them out for free. These women take care of a little bit of shipping. I did all the rest. And I've decided, what the hell, I'm going to order another 100. So there you go. So if you would like to get one of the limited edition, this is version 3.0, limited edition Women Wanting More journals. Again, you take care of a little bit of shipping. It's $9.95. I do all the rest and put some cool stuff in there for you as well. Then too, go to drkarenosborne.com/free journal. So that's DRKARENOSBURN.com/free journal. And you can enter in all your information. I will get that to you within a couple weeks. Number two, there's a lot of you that listen to the podcast, but you're actually not receiving the newsletter. And I mail it almost every single day. I have a blog post. I have something exciting to talk about. So head over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide. I'm going to send you some cool things along with that as some special gifts. And make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. And then the last thing I'm going to mention then to you, sister, is I have started doing these 21-day challenges, where I'm now working with a second group of women so that at the end of the 21 days, they will have a plan in place for what they want to create over the next 90-day period of time. And so I would like to invite for you, if you're feeling called to like, geez, I do want to create stuff in my life and I don't know how to do things and I really want to work on this. And geez, I've maybe been listening to the podcast for a while and like, I want to work with Karen or I want to do stuff and I haven't really like pulled the trigger yet. So here's the time. Okay. So this is what I want you to do. I don't know when the date is for the next 21-day challenge. So to get on the wait list for the next one, to get on the list, I want you to email me, drkarenosborne@gmail.com. Okay, we'll make it super easy one, drkarenosborne@gmail.com, and say, I want to get on the list. Okay, and I will add you to it. And then when enrollment opens up registration for the next one, you get first dibs. All right, sister, there we go. I will talk to the next episode, and just know a life of more is one step away from you continuing to hold on to the things that you want, the vision, what you feel within your heart every single day. I love and appreciate you so, so much.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, Subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.